Yeah, I mean, he obviously they led the SEC in rushing last year. They're the leading rusher in the country outside of really the triple option types of teams, probably. I think in his growth, I'm sure that they don't want him to be their leading rusher, would be my guess. But he is very dynamic at what he does, and he can throw the ball. I think he's getting better and better at that. But he is a dual threat guy, and not just is he a dual threat guy to run, he's a dual threat guy to run you over. And I think the unique thing about it is when quarterbacks not just are willing but able to run downhill, not just laterally, to me they put a lot more pressure on defenses.
Shane, you may not want to say who is actually mimicking KJ Jefferson, but is there a way to actually mimic a guy who's 6'3", 240 or whatever he is?
There's not. To be that big, but to be able to people just bounce off of him back there, and the way that he's able to in the run game run the football like he does, but then also in the passing game to be able to sit back there and take hits and throw the ball downfield, or to have people bounce off of him. He's able to scramble, but he keeps his eyes downfield and he's able to throw. No, I mean, we don't. We'd have to take, I don't know who, one of our defensive ends, and make him a quarterback. For us, it's just emphasizing 11 hats to the ball and gang tackling and getting people around him, and let's do a good job of, understanding their schemes and being in the right place, being in the right gaps, and then rally to them, because it's going to take, all 11 to rally to that ball to get him down.
What kind of challenges does the quarterback for Arkansas present to you?
I mean, a lot. He's big. He can throw the ball. He can throw it deep. He's an accurate passer. He's a great runner, so our ability to get people to the ball when he runs it and tackle him. And then, his biggest uniqueness, I guess you would say, is that you can have free rushers and you can get guys right there to sack him, and he breaks the tackle and he runs out of it and either throws the ball after he breaks the tackle or takes off and runs. So he's done a really nice job. They've done a great job with him the last 2 years.
And KJ Jefferson, coach, Arkansas's quarterback, what
dynamic,
challenges?
arm, legs, strong. That's the other thing. Big, strong, athletic, design quarterback runs. Enough scrambles in what he does. He's got maturity. He can get the ball down the field. Big receivers that can run. I know Warren Thompson's a guy we recruited at Florida State when I was leaving big time. I mean, Hazelwood, I remember him out of high school. And I can't, the other big guy, the guy that just came in from Toledo was at Georgia, was out of Tampa, can really fly. And I apologize for missing his name right now, but I mean, can run and play. The tight ends are dynamic. The backs are good. I mean, but he makes it go. Jefferson makes it go, man. He's one of the best in the business.
And I just wanted to ask you about KJ Jefferson, just his size and how tough he is. If in coaching or in practice this week, are you really focusing on wrapping up and tackling, and just how dynamic of a threat is he, both as a passer and a runner?
Well, I mentioned before what a dynamic player that he is. Big, strong guy, hard to tackle, hard to sack, hard to get on the ground, can push the pile and run over people when he runs quarterback runs. Very physical, player. So all those things that you mentioned are certainly things that we want to emphasize this week. But you can't minimize the effectiveness of this guy as a passer. He is really, really good. He's got a strong arm, throws the deep ball well, and they make a lot of explosive plays because they run the ball extremely well. They have really good play action passes, but he executes it both ways very, very well.
Kalani, how unique of a challenge is KJ Jefferson for Arkansas?
Yeah, and you can see it on film, and you can see the things that he does to the great talent on defenses that they're going against, and he's a special player. Big too, and he can fly. Just he's got it all, man, and he's a pain. And so we have to be fundamentally we have to be really sound in football and assignment wise, because the style of offense that they run, we can really punish you if you make mistakes. So we really can't afford to make a lot of mistakes against him. He'll punish you, and he can do it with his arm and with his legs. He's extremely talented, and you can see when he's in there, he makes a huge difference for their team.
KJ, now he's different. Really big, really physical. I think he plays with a lot of poise. And, as far as defending him, you got to tackle him. If he's running the ball, you got to tackle You got to have somebody in position to do that, and then overall, you got to be ready for some of the things they do with him. You know, he's not always going to run the ball. He may show that, and he may throw it. They do a good job. I think they're creative on the offensive side with what they do with him. And just his overall physicality, he provides, you know, a different element at the quarterback position. He can throw up and down the field if he chooses to, but then you have somebody as athletic and as big as he is, they're going to utilize him. And so for us, it's just another challenge with the quarterback that's a versatile guy that can do a lot of different things that we have to be ready to go out there and play against him. And then you got to be physical with him. You know, you don't always say it with quarterbacks, but you got to be physical with him and be able to tackle him. But ultimately, just the way they play, you got to play with great eyes on the quarterback and be ready for him to be a scrambler or a threat in the run game. And you got to find a way to stop him.
KJ, I know him well from Sardis, Mississippi, and he's just, you know, he's as much involved in the run game as he is the pass game, which is a challenge.
You know, obviously playing a team that has a very prolific offense, and in terms of players, it starts with their quarterback. I think it's the 5th time now we've seen a big physical quarterback. KJ Jefferson, 6'3", 240. You know, he's got 17 passing touchdowns, 6 rushing touchdowns. You know, he's going to be a handful. Another guy that we've got to be able to control what he does and get him on the ground.
I mean, he's obviously a problem because he's so physical, and when he runs the ball and can make you miss, can run you over. You know, and we had a major issue with him, especially later in the game, is, you know, if they're moving the ball and making first downs, you know, that system tires you out.
Offensively, their quarterback is the engine that makes him go. Obviously, this will be the 3rd time that we've played against him. Golly, I hope he's graduating or going pro or something. Holy cow, he's an unbelievable player. Is able to really throw the football extremely well. He's a physical runner, but I think the thing that separates him is his ability to read defenses and then, even when protection breaks down, make the first defender miss, whether they're on him or not, and then extend plays. The play he made against BYU before half that led to a touchdown drive is as special a play as you can make as a quarterback, and just have a lot of respect for KJ as a player and know that he's also a young man of high character. So going to be a very difficult challenge for our defense.